Today, we'll be looking at the top 3 brokers for professionals here within the UK. There are some common names, there are some names that you might find a little bit surprising, but we'll dig into the paid pro membership, DMA access, Razer accounts, ECN accounts, etc. So this is really for pro and semi-professional level traders or people looking to move into that space and looking for the broker that they can take with them on the journey from beginner all the way to pro. So let's get into it. So let's start at number 3. At number 3, we have Interactive Brokers. This is possibly one of the most common names in professional trading. We had a deep dive into their platform, their API, what they offer and what they don't offer, to come up with this positioning as third best professional broker for UK traders. The rationale is quite simple. IBKR, as they like to be known, is one of the best brokers for a couple of key elements of professional trading. They offer institutional level access, so people who are trading accounts of 40 million, 50 million plus, that's a fantastic broker for them. But for the standard retail trader who's looking to go professional but not trade that institutional level volume, they're not quite suited for that kind of professional trader. So if you're an institution, if you're a hedge fund, or you're looking to invest millions of pounds, even up to 1 billion AUM, then IBKR or IG DMA, which we'll get into later, are probably some of the best platforms to do so. However, for retail traders, people who are just you and me looking to trade, that is not actually the best broker. We found that IBKR's fees are actually slightly more expensive than something like a Pepperstone or an IG, which we'll come on to later. So their fees are based on a percentage of your overall trade volume. Potentially that actually comes out as higher cost than some ECN commission-based accounts. So we did a side-by-side comparison. We looked at Pepperstone, we looked at IBKR, we looked at IG's spread cost, and we looked at CMC as well. And often IBKR came out as one of the most expensive brokers. However, they do offer something that the other platforms don't offer, at least they don't offer in a very comprehensive way, which is the access to European style options trading. So here I am on the platform. You can see there's a search bar. You type in the instrument you're looking to trade, and then the instrument comes up and you can see a nice clean trading profile for that particular instrument. If you're trading stocks, it means that you will need to know the ticker in advance. If you're trading Forex, which I wouldn't recommend doing on IBKR anyway, especially at this kind of retail level, then you will just need to type in the FX pair that you're looking to trade. You can also look at options for this particular stock. If you go here, you can see the option, you can see the strike price, and you can ultimately place your options trade based on that information. IB claim to have around 29 different currencies in FX. It is very, very low. This is perhaps one of the lowest that we've seen. So it just shows you the kind of leagues of difference that are missing in IG's asset catalog. Now, they may be comprehensive when it comes to stocks, US and UK and European stocks, but generally, if you're looking to trade Forex on IB, then this is probably not the place to do it. There are other brokers that we'll come on to that are actually better suited for this. Anyway, when we actually dug into their platform, we found that we were more inclined to trade stocks anyway, just because of the way that their platform is set up. It's very ticker based, futures and options based. So it kind of lends itself more towards the stock trading, options trading route. And IBKR has actually proven itself to be one of the better options trading brokers that we found on this list. So if you're looking to trade options, IB might be the broker for you. You've just got to understand that you might not get the variety that you're used to from something like a CMC, but they're generally a good broker for options. The ease of use is very, very high. You can get started and trade options generally within an hour, 2 hours. It's relatively simple and easy to understand if you're familiar with options and European style options trading. So we also had a look at their TWS platform. This is the Trader Workstation platform. You might hear it if you're going into professional or semi-professional trading. When we loaded it on our desktop, it took a long time to load. Not only was the file size huge, but when it actually loaded, it was very complicated, very confusing. There weren't any simple instructions on how to get started and best take advantage of the platform. So you really had to figure it out yourself. IB do offer a guide of sorts on their website, but generally if you're looking to get started and use Trader Workstation, so TWS, on your laptop, you're going to have a lot of space, good RAM, not many other applications installed, and this is really going to be your only option and your main source of trading. TWS, we actually compared to ProReal Time from IG. ProReal Time is an accessible platform that costs £30 a month. TWS is free, but TWS is much heavier, much more cumbersome, and much more difficult to trade on. ProReal Time actually proved to be fantastic, really lightweight, there was the same kind of approach. There were different windows that came up and proved to be a little bit complicated. But IG generally provided a better pro level platform than Trader Workstation, in our opinion. So you can have a look at our full breakdown in tradingbrokers.co.uk, where we've done the kind of side-by-side analysis of both of those pro level tools. You can consider these tools to be kind of Bloomberg light. They're not quite a Bloomberg machine. They work on your computer. Sometimes you have to pay, like with ProReal time. Sometimes they're free, like TWS. But ultimately, these are kind of pro level tools that you'll be getting and using on a daily basis. If I was to recommend one, I'd recommend using IG's Pro Real Time. TWS, I just found too slow, too cumbersome to use. I preferred trading actually through the IB platform, the web experience, rather than going to a downloaded version of TWS. Finally, we'll move on to the best part of Interactive Brokers that we found, which was their API system. If you're looking to build any kind of comprehensive Python-based model to trade algorithmically, then Interactive Brokers is really your best bet. They have an API. You can integrate your own Python application into Trader Workstation and start trading remotely. This was actually one of the first things that I did when I signed up to Interactive Brokers. I started trading algorithmically. I started building my own Python-based bots, and it's a fantastic platform to do so. However, other brokers have now actually caught on to this, and you can see Capital.com offering their own API. So if you want to build an algorithmic trading system around an API, then there are actually alternatives for this as well. You don't have to go to a pro-level broker like IB, where they may charge you a bit more than you're expecting. You can actually go to something like a Capital.com or a Pepperstone, where fees are relatively low and you can trade really easily. So we found that IB's API, although it was really beneficial a few years ago, like 5-10 years ago, nowadays it's actually commonplace, and a lot of brokers are building their own APIs and MCP connectors, so you can build algorithmic bots and trading systems around their API as well. But now it's kind of table stakes for most brokers to have their own API connectors, and if your broker doesn't offer an API connector, I'd consider looking elsewhere, just because the rise of algorithmic trading is so big and AI is in everyone's lives that you're going to eventually want to build a trading bot based on your system. So look for a broker that has API connectors, and you won't necessarily need to use IB for this. You can use any major broker. So in second place, we have Pepperstone. Pepperstone is one of those brokers that flies under the radar for professional traders and semi-professional traders, but it really shouldn't. They offer a great Razer account. The Razer account is similar to an ECN-style account, where you get tight spreads on a fixed commission. So actually they start from 0.0 pips for Euro USD, and they kind of hover around 0.2, 0.3 pips, which is far, far lower than anything you'd get with a CMC or an IG. And then you get charged a commission at the end of each trade. This is £2.25. It's called each way. You get charged when you enter, you get charged when you exit, for a final fee of £4.50 plus the spread cost. Now, this spread cost is remarkable. It's much, much cheaper than something like a standard IG spread, which we'll come on to later, and it's much cheaper than CMC standard spread, although CMC has 0.5 pips as their standard spread, which is actually very, very good. But if you're trading more exotic minor pairs or exotic Forex pairs, then ultimately you're going to get charged more than that. So having a tight spread from a broker like Pepperstone, where the execution is fantastic, plus a little bit of a commission, is actually a really good deal for those people who are trading high volume and trading in a professional style account. Ultimately, the benefit of this is that you keep your cost base really low. If you're trading £1 million, you get a 0.2% pip spread. That's still very tight, tighter than most other brokers. And then the total cost of trading is that 0.2 pip spread plus £4.50, which is their commission-based fee. You don't want to pay a percentage based on your entire trade. You want to pay a fixed low fee plus a tiny bit based on the spread cost. Pepperstone offer their own Pepperstone platform. They offer CTrader, TradingView, MT4 and MT5. So it's a wide range of different platforms you can trade on. They also offer CTrader, which has algorithmic trading built in through CBots, and they offer TradingView as well. So all of these different platforms make it a very well-rounded broker for algorithmic trading. If you're looking to go semi-professional or professional trading, that's a very good option to have. Ultimately, this is one of the key elements when we talk about trading and trading professionally. Spread cost is one of those things that you can't ignore, Professional and semi-professional traders, they spend a lot of time analyzing their fees. And this is why we think that Pepperstone for retail traders is a fantastic option. And if you're trading volume, this is going to matter. So finally, the best broker that we found for professional traders is IG. They offer a very good trading platform in ProReal time. They also offer DMA access via L2 Dealer and Forex Direct. However, one of the drawbacks that we found with IG was that there was no commission-based account. The reason commission-based accounts are so important for professional and semi-professional trading is that if you're trading at much higher volumes, you'd rather have a set spread cost or a set fixed commission. If you're trading 100,000 or a million, then your costs are the same. This is a disadvantage with IG. We didn't have a commission-based account, so the spread cost actually turned out to be quite high when we were trading on higher volume. So look for those brokers that have a fixed commission-based account if you're looking to trade high volume. This video is not about high volume, and we'll come on to that into a subsequent video, but really professional trading, semi-professional trading, and volume kind of go hand in hand. So look for a commission-based account if you're looking to trade that volume. So moving on to IG's platforms, we've covered IG's platforms extensively in a previous video, but for this video, we're going to focus on one main platform, and that is ProReal Time. ProReal Time is offered by IG as a paid platform. It costs £30 a month, which comes in at around like a TradingView kind of style application on their Plus plan, I think it is, which is around £30 a month. So you can draw a kind of similarity and parallel there. But IG's really invested in this platform over time. It has options book data. It has live charting. It's a very, very good platform for people who are looking for a TradingView alternative integrated with their broker that also gives them order book data and a lot more information. There was information in ProReal Time that we couldn't get in TradingView, and there were charting tools in TradingView that we couldn't get in ProReal Time. So really it's a trade-off between whether you want the depth and expertise of a broker-led platform or whether you want a charting tool that is community-based, has third-party integrations, and I guess is one of the leading charting tools in the world. We found obviously TradingView to be a better experience, much easier to use, but ProReal Time for professional traders gives you that kind of order book data and the information on options trading that you would find useful in your kind of much more sophisticated trading strategies that TradingView may lack, or you may be reliant on a third-party integration. Now, when it comes to spread cost, IG is still not the most competitive broker. Their fees start at 0.6 pip spreads. This is actually higher than something like a CMC or higher than most other brokers who specialize in professional trading. However, what you're paying for with IG is not necessarily just the spread cost. You're paying for the global regulation, the FTSE traded company, the safety that you're in good hands with a well-regulated broker. So they don't excel for their fees and their spreads or their commission-based account, but what they do have is a wide range of instruments that you can access. They have L2 Dealer. If you qualify for a professional level account, then you can use L2 Dealer and Forex Direct with them, which offers low fees, direct market access, no dealing desk. Your quote is straight from the market, and you get extremely low fees if you qualify for that pro account. So in summary, if you're looking for a broker that is fantastic for retail trading, semi-professional and professional level retail trading with a low fixed commission, your ideal broker is Pepperstone. If you're looking for a broker that actually has DMA access and no dealing desk intervention, then you're really looking at IG. If you're looking for a place to trade options professionally, then we would look at Interactive Brokers. For algorithmic based traders, I would choose Pepperstone, which has CTrader, TradingView. You can also look at capital.com. They have a fantastic API. You can look at the old stalwart of British trading, which is Interactive Brokers, which have had an API for donkey's years, and you can build your own Python-based automations around it. So ultimately, who is the best broker? Well, IG offers something for professional level traders, no dealing desk, L2, direct from the market, fantastic broker. Interactive Brokers has got a well-established brand. They also offer a great institutional level access with tiered pricing. They're a fantastic choice if you're looking to trade at high volumes, 50 million, 100 million plus. But if you're a retail trader like you and me, then the best option would probably be to go to a Pepperstone Razer account, which has a fixed commission, low fee, low spread, and really easy to use. You can check out our full review on tradingbrokers.co.uk. There's a link in the description where we compare Interactive Brokers, IG, Pepperstone, CMC, the whole range of brokers that are available for professional traders. So hit that link in the description and like and subscribe. Thank you very much.